I don't know as if I really agree with this 80-year cycle, other than the Revolutionary War did occur just about 80 years prior to the Civil War, right? So I don't doubt that we go in cycles throughout history. I think Ben Franklin said something about history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. So that's been observed by our forefathers and from the people who come before us, that history goes in these types of cycles. But as far as the 80-year cycle and the archetypes for the generations that repeat every fourth generation, I'm not sure that I see it. So we can look at the American history, for example. So the last big crisis that they point to involved the Great Depression, which I believe was 1929 to 1939 generally.
Mm-hmm.
Am I correct on that? Well, there were also large depressions prior to that. So most of the 1870s was consumed by what was called the Long Depression. So that doesn't really fall in with their crisis cycle here, right?
Right.
Now, it also, the last big crisis involved World War II. Well, I mean, yeah, so bad war, big crisis, 80 some million, 80 or 100 million people dead. Am I correct on that? But just before that, in the 19 teens, late 19 teens, we had another big war that resulted in like 20 million people dead, and that they don't consider that a big crisis. That didn't change things. So that doesn't really fall in with their nice little 80-year pattern, does it?
I think there's some conflicts with the theory. Right. I agree with that, because
But
I was wondering that myself, because I'm like, well, there's other things that you could throw in there. Like there's things that happened before the 2008 crisis that I think
9/11 itself does not fall in that 80-year cycle, but that was extraordinarily impactful. It changed society. It changed our culture. It led to a destabilized Middle East, and well, maybe it wasn't all that stable to begin with, but now we have ISIS, for example, that has emerged in the wake of that. So, like these were also big, giant crises. Many of our liberties were taken away by the Patriot Act. The government can just surveil us and log our data so that they can. Well, they'll get a warrant, but they already have the data that they've collected. They'll get a warrant to look at the data they've already taken and hoarded later without our permission. But so that didn't really fall in with their timeline. So it's highly subjective how you look at these events, is what I'm saying.